Hello guys, it's David here, and today I've got a slightly different video for you, so any feedback on this sort of subject would be appreciated. Today I'm going to be going over the combat level formula. I know that many people already understand how it works, and if you do then great, but if not, then this video is here to help you understand it. So I'm going to give a quick overview of the formula, then go over an example just to make it crystal clear what's going on. Then I'm going to move on to the combat level formula for monsters, which is slightly different. Now, in front of you is the combat level formula that governs what your combat level is going to be. I took this straight from the wiki, so if there's something that you don't understand from this video, then you can go look there. I'll leave a link to that in the description, or you can write a comment on this video and I'll do my best to answer your questions. The formula itself is fairly straightforward, with the only even slightly confusing part being the max in front of the second set of brackets. This simply means that you take the largest value of the three variables that are inside the square set of brackets. Also, another thing that you need to keep in mind when you're calculating what your combat level would be is that you need to drop the decimal of the final value and not do any rounding. So, from just looking at this formula, you can see how someone can be max combat level but have very low stats in 2 or 3 of the offensive combat skills. This is probably the most common misconception that people have about combat levels. Another strange case is that you can have max combat level without having all the levels that you would have thought. You can be missing a defense level, a constitution level, or up to 3 levels between prayer and summoning. I'm now going to go over an example before moving on to monsters' combat levels and how to work out their stats from their combat level. For my example, I'm going to be using my Iron Man as a subject. Here are all of my stats. The first thing that I need to do is take any information that we need to process before putting it in the formula and process it. So, over here, top right, let's just do that. Attack plus strength is 81 plus 87, which is 168. 2 times magic is 2 times 87, which is 174. And 2 times range is 2 times 80, which is 160. From that, we can see that my account is magic based, and magic is the skill that I need to use in the formula. Next, we simply need to fill in the rest of the formula to get my combat level, which comes out to 118.425. To get the round number from this, again, you just need to drop the decimal and you get your final number, which is 118. You can see this is correct from the little number at the bottom of my levels tab. Now let's move on to the combat level of monsters. Bosses are excluded from this sadly, as they have their levels set manually by the mods who work on them. The reason that this is important, that once you know the combat level of a monster, then you can work out its stats, and from that you can work out your accuracy against it and do all sorts of other things. The formula for working out the combat level from the stats of monsters is the sum of their defense and the highest offensive combat level multiplied by 0.7. You can rearrange this formula to work out their stats. For most monsters, their highest stat and their defense are the same, which means that there's only one variable that you need to work out so you can actually solve the equation. Let's do an example or two just to make things more clear. First, let's look at Rivarius. Its combat level is 84. First, we need to divide this by 0.7, which is 120, and then again by 2, which is 60. Now we need to think about what style they attack with. They attack with magic, which means that they must have level 60 defense and level 60 magic. Things get slightly more complicated when you have a decimal number in your calculation. Let's have a look at Greater Demons, as they demonstrate this quite well, I think. They have a combat level of 82, so let's divide that by 0.7 and again by 2. This leaves us with 58.5714, so in this situation what do we do? To work out whether it's supposed to be 58, 59 or 60, we need to do the level formula the correct way round for each of these 3 numbers and see what the answer is. If the answer is 82, then we know what the levels of Greater Demons are. Again, we drop the decimal at the end, so we can see by this that the levels of Greater Demons are 59 in both magic and defense. So that's how the levels of monsters are calculated, and again, the reason that this is important is because we can use this to work out accuracy and other things like that. So thank you very much for watching this rather different video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.